announcement before the stage opened, but we thought, it's quite a long announcement with a lot of details. So we just figured it'd be good to open up a stage for people to come in and maybe ask clarifying questions or whatever questions you might have regarding the announcement.
Do you want to kind of summarize the announcement before as we get going or something, or?
Yeah, maybe I can. I'll try to do my best to summarize. So, in very short terms, I guess we are transitioning from the way it currently is, where you build your own device, to a network where it will be approved devices only. And in the announcement, we do really, really appreciate everyone that's here and that's been here from day one. Without all of you, we would not be anywhere near where we are. So everyone who's live already, there's some details. If you're live already, if you already ordered hardware, it's on the way. If you paid to reserve a hex, or if you mine through a third miner, you will be grandfathered in and you will receive this dongle for free. And you will be allowed to stay in the network for obviously forever. We hope you want to do that. But everyone that's joining in the future will have to, for a transition period, buy the dongle. And after we reach 2,000, it's only approved devices. And why we're doing this is, I kind of outlined it in the announcement, but it has to do because there's two main things that we have a responsibility towards. First and foremost, it's the community, because without the community, we have nothing. So we need to make sure we create a network that's fair, where it doesn't allow cheating, but also we have to care for the customer because we need to generate revenue to care for the community. And this strategy, we believe 100% in, will allow us to do that long term and really become the best network that exists in the market. And that will be good for everybody. So that's a somewhat of a short summary, but more details in the announcement, of course. Hey, Ash, we're pretty good. Good to see you. We're approximately at 1,550 antennas right now. Good morning, he who must not be named, Lord Voldemort. We're happy you're excited, Dark Virus. Let's see. So Cello, so the dongle is not released yet. So it will be a little bit of time before we actually have the dongle. So until then, everyone is fine. When the dongle is close to being released, for everyone that's live right now, we'll obviously have to collect all your information. So you will order the free dongle. After you receive the dongle, you have 90 days to enable it. So it's not 90 days from today, just to clarify. Cello, does that make sense?
And as an addendum to that, we just very recently were discussing options of would it make sense to possibly, for people who have hosted devices as well as possibly their own, would it make sense to ship to the host location? Would it make sense to ship them to the owner, and then the owner ships them out? So that's obviously still stuff we're working through, but we're also open to suggestions, opinions by people who are in fact in that situation. See if we can work something out or not. Obviously, it would take less time if it was sent to the location. All you had to do was ask someone, hey, can you plug this in? Versus you receiving it and then shipping it to them. Question is logistics going to make sense from a distribution perspective to do that? Or should it all, ship in one package? If you have 4 stations, should we ship all 4 to you and then you distribute?
Yeah, so there's obviously some details to figure out, but again, per the announcement, if you already have the antenna live, you will get the dongle for free. You don't have to pay for shipping, but we will collect your address where it needs to be delivered. So every antenna that's live will get a free dongle, or every station that's live, sorry. If you have ordered your hardware and it's currently in transit, you will need to open a ticket and provide us proof that you ordered the hardware before today, and you will get a free dongle. If you have paid for a hex reservation for 30 days, you will also get a free dongle, but you have to turn your station on within the reservation period. If you mine through a third party, you're using BitHarvest or Crank, we will work with them on making sure that they're supporting the dongle. And then, as long as they support the dongle, you'll be grandfathered in and get it for free, exactly like every other device. Let's see, now it's a lot of things coming in here. Let's go one by one, maybe. Let's see, where am I? FO. Yeah, so FO, since you received your Raspberry Pi today, you have two options. One, you can set it live today, or you can open a ticket and providing us the information just from the ordering of the device, so we can see that you received it, and you will get the free dongle. The cost of the dongle is not 100% determined yet, so I don't want to speculate. But we'll come out with that shortly. But again, if you're already live, you have zero cost in the dongle and no shipping. Easy. So the dongle will contain a cryptographic chip to sign all the data transmissions. And it will also contain a GPS module so we can validate the location of the device. And this is very important for two reasons. One, obviously for the hex claiming, to make sure that everyone are where they claim they are. But it's also very important for commercial purposes, because if we can prove to the customer that we know where the devices are, the measurements of the data and the accuracy of the data is much higher than anyone else can provide in the space. So it will add a lot of value to the data that can then go back into the community. So Quagga, I don't know if I'm understanding, but you literally just need to provide us with the addresses of the antennas that you have, and they will send the dongles to those addresses. So if you have 3 live antennas, you will get 3 dongles. You can provide us 3 addresses.
Yeah, and again, these dongles are just like think of the SDR receiver size or a USB storage device. I mean, they're not super large, so not heavy. So it should be relatively easy to ship.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, world famous. We kind of discussed that. While we're not 100% sure, but we do think it makes more sense to maybe ship the dongle to the antenna location. But we'll figure that one out. That probably makes the most sense. Let's see.
Just real quick, Robin, I know we can't give an exact price on the dongle. I think the community should know that we're doing our best to minimize the cost to the end recipient. We're not obviously trying to make money off these things. We're just trying to provide quality data. But could you give, by chance, a reasonable? It's definitely not going to be over, it's not hundreds of dollars of something, right? It's more of a minimal cost.
I mean, I would say around $50 or a little less at most. Somewhere around there is we think. But again, the dongle is not complete, so we don't really know the cost yet. So it can change. But yeah, it's not going to be $100 or $200.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of alleviate any big concerns that we're trying to slap out a USB device that's, hundreds of dollars.
No, it's not.
Maddie's asking GPS receivers that already exist. So the challenge there, Maddie, is all the GPS things you get out there, except I think for one that I'm aware of, are just standard GPS. They hook up, they're basically read by the Linux system as a GPS device. They don't have the cryptography chip. They're not being used to sign or make connections. So they are insufficient for the level of quality data we need, verifiable data. So you can't just get an off the shelf one. Plus, I just throwing this out there, and I think 120 threw this out. He's not in here that I see, but he's thrown it out before that there's a challenge with those, that, you can spoof your location with standard USB GPS devices. Obviously, we don't want that to happen. In fact, it was interesting. There's a discussion in one of the channels, I think suggestions, that talks about GPS devices, and people are having, a conversation about what's valid, what's not, what would work and what wouldn't. And obviously we knew at that point what was already coming. That's why we did not really involve ourselves in that conversation, but it was good to read what people were thinking.
Yeah, exactly. So I see here Quai and Massacre saying that they have no chance of getting the dongle to a remote station in 90 days. I just want to reiterate, it's not 90 days from today. It's 90 days from when you receive the dongle, and the dongle is not going to come out for another 2 months maybe. So, and if you have a super edge case where your station is in a crazy location and you live there, like, reach out to us. Obviously, we want to work with you, but we need to get these, when the dongles are distributed, we need to get them on the devices, within a reasonable time. It cannot be a year, So we thought 3 months from the receiving the dongle is reasonable. If you have a super edge case, like, open a ticket and we can discuss.
Yeah, anybody who hasn't been around, I mean, we're happy to work with people. We're happy to make things happen. And obviously, if you're working on getting this to a remote location, that's probably a good location for the network as well. So we're here to work. But Robin said there has to be some kind of deadline.
Yeah. So just reach out, and we can obviously look more at your specific situation outside of this call. I'm Ticker and Bassa. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Are you saying your antenna is live and it has a hex claimed to it, but you didn't? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he hasn't deployed it at its final resting location. From what I'm understanding, it was set up and tested locally to make sure it all worked before he shipped it to the host. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please open a ticket for that one, if you don't mind. Let me scroll back up. MXR 156. No, you're correct. That's not going to affect it.
Yeah, this wasn't like a snapshot. Like if you weren't up on this minute on this day, tough. No, it's an evaluation to make sure that you had a station running.
Yeah, exactly.
During a reasonable period of time. So yeah, you're fine.
Armstrong, the current reservation has been 30 days, but it's for the announcement. It's the people that have already before today paid for the reservation. So if a bunch of people go in and buy the reservation now, that's not valid for receiving the free dongle. Let's see, Fizzy.
Busy, yeah.
Yeah, no. So if you you know if you before this call already ordered the hardware, you get it for free. If you order after this call, you would have to purchase the dongle.
Cello, you're asking how much additional power would it consume and how much data. Uh, I'm not sure about the data yet. I think we'd have to figure that out in the next coming weeks, month. The power I know is minimal, but I do understand that there's a limit on the dongle from what I've seen. But I think that is like the max limit it can draw. We're not sure yet what the standard usage is going to be for data, for amps or whatever. We are keeping completely in mind that some of these devices could be limited as far as how much power can be provided by the power supply. So 100% we are working to figure that out and ensure that it'll be fine. I do also recognize that for some potentially dual mining devices or repurposed devices, there may be limitations as far as that and even USB ports. So there is a chance that for some participants, they will have to use, say, a powered USB hub or something like that. I know that's a possibility, so I'm throwing it out now.
Yeah. Ada Miner, does the dongle replace the current USB receiver? No, it does not. It's an add-on to your current setup. I think that's the same question as Tikor and Basa has. No, like you don't have to replace anything. You just add this on to your device.
I'm down to Maddie at 52 after the hour. Is that where you are? Should I address this one?
If I am at Kwai Kwaga, who's asking about the helium approved
Go
supplier.
ahead.
Yeah, so we have not, we're probably not going to do it in-house. We don't want to be a hardware company, and we're not looking to make a bunch of money off the hardware. So we're going to license this out. We already speaking with some manufacturers that have been around for a long time, so the chance of them go belly up is very small. But this is not done yet. But this will come later on. But obviously, regarding the price, we know what price we need to keep, kind of like for the end customer, and what our goal is. So when we work with manufacturers, we can make some type of requirements on how they can price these things. Let's see. Mike, where are you at?
Maddie, outside antenna, yes. GPS signal can be somewhat weak if the Pi is indoors. That is actually under review right now. The current potential is that it would have one of the connectors and a puck or button, or there's multiple terms for it, that goes on the end of the USB device. And that, I don't know if you've seen some of the ones that similarly exist, but there's a cable, kind of a button connector, and then it goes to a puck, and that puck should be put near a window or somewhere that has pretty good line of sight to the sky. We're also investigating what would that mean for people that have devices in boxes up in towers or just outside in boxes, and how would that play as far as a weatherproof puck or something so that it can be put out there and not, degrade in the weather. So this announcement is an overall announcement of how we're moving forward. It doesn't have all the specifics. There are a lot of things that still need to be worked out, but in general, this is the direction we're headed. So there are going to be questions you're probably going to ask that we don't have the answer to at this exact moment because things are still being worked on, literally, like developed.
Good. Right. Kira. No, you cannot like if you're talking about the dongle, the adapter to decode the data. No, you cannot replace it. So like for on a Pi 4, for example, there's 4 USB outputs on the back. This one will just go in one of the other ones. So you're just adding it on. You're not replacing anything with the dongle. It's only an add-on to your current setup. Let's see where we are now. Go ahead, Mike, if you were ready for one.
Well, I'm still back at Vortal, which I'm not even sure I'm in the right order. Vortal, you were asking about, are you forecasting crypto level growth when we're mainnet? I think Robin can speak to that. I can speak to the fact that I don't think we ever want like a helium based growth pattern. I don't think we ever need the saturation or level of stations deployed that some of these other projects might be looking for. I mean, their goal is to spread far, spread wide. I mean, just deep, like get as many units out there as possible. We can accomplish a lot with a lot less stations. And I think with tools that will be coming that will help you kind of gather whether I should be putting a unit here or it doesn't make sense to put one here. Those kind of things will help guide the participants to not create saturation beyond what should have normally happened. And
yeah,
I think we never want to have 100,000 or 500,000 of these things spread around the earth, because most likely that means, 10,000 in a major city or 5,000 in a major city. That's not going to help anybody.
No. I mean, like we don't want to be that big. We want to have an optimized, really good network with enough redundancy for where we need, and that's well below 20,000 devices in total if they're spread out. Probably even lower than that. So supply chain obviously will be a little bit easier since we're not forecasting selling like 1 million devices like Helium did. But we're all obviously aware of the issues that have happened in the past with supply chain, especially with Helium. So we are doing everything we can to obviously not have that problem. I mean, but again, we're building a company. Some things we don't know what will happen, but we don't forecast being anywhere near the issues they had with that. So that's, I think, all I can say on that one. But yeah, definitely not the same amount of devices as Helium. Alpen, but you say you're waiting for the hardware. If you already ordered the hardware before this announcement, open a ticket and just submit the order information or some type of proof, and you will receive the dongle. Mike, how aware are you on the cooling part of the new device?
I'm not sure that it's going to need much cooling. We are generally aware, very much aware, that some devices, such as the ones I mentioned that are outdoors, perhaps in a box up a tower or just out somewhere, are going to be open to extreme weather, whether that's extreme cold or extreme heat. So that is part of the criteria for the device to be manufactured, is that and again, we're talking about the dongle, not third party down the road devices. I'm just speaking only towards the dongle at this moment, but we are aware that it needs to be able to sustain itself in those environments. So all I can say now is we're on it. It's part of our criteria. And as a follow-up to that, Tiku, it does not piggyback on the SDR. It is a separate port. It is literally another USB device. As far as I know, I haven't heard anything otherwise, but I will confirm. I think it can be used in a USB 2 port. Obviously, we've got, like on most Pis, you've got a couple USB 3 ports, a couple of USB 2 ports. The SDR dongles, generally, as far as the ones that I've used and am aware of, they obviously don't need USB 3. So they're USB 2. You can plug them into a 3 just to take the slot. So you could literally, if you're looking at the side of a Pi, you could have one top right for the SDR and one bottom left for the USB device, or whatever combination works for you. Some people may even do, being careful, USB extensions just so that there's no strain or whatever on the port itself.
Let's see. On button deity, if you have ordered this hardware already that you're about to deploy, you can open a ticket and just submit information about when you order the hardware. And if it was before today and they go live, you will get the free dongle. Let's see. Alpen, I'm not sure exactly what you mean with ordered third-party devices. Tim H, link to sign up. What are you referring to? Armstrong, if you've been live, like if we see that you've been live over the last, weeks or months or whatever, you will be fine. It's not like you have to be live a specific moment in time, but if we've seen you've been active and you have an antenna that's been live, you're fine.
Brutal. Real quick, I had the exact same question. My system is up in the attic right now. There's obviously no windows. I really don't want to snake a GPS puck like through some kind of attic vents or whatever else. So I have the same thought. We are investigating, trying to see what's possible. So I can't answer you right now, but know that that is a primary concern. It was in my mind because it would affect me.
Where was I? Now I lost my spot.
I've had my ADA miner. I've had my station operating for months. Did I miss the opportunity to order a free dongle?
I actually, Ada Miner, I answered you in writing. You did
I haven't
not.
scrolled.
No one has, like, if you're live at the moment, or you've been live, even if it's like offline now for a minute, we will, when it gets closer to releasing this dongle, we'll have a portal where you order the dongle for free and submit your information, like delivery address and those type of things. So no one has missed their opportunity to claim the free dongle. Thanks, Jello. Quagga, it doesn't affect the move to mainnet. It doesn't have an effect on that.
Yeah, it's just keep in mind that this is just something that if we want the best possible network we can put out, this is the direction to go. So luckily, this is not a huge change for us other than some stuff on the back end and some stuff on interfaces. So
yeah.
I already answered Tiku.
Yeah, and then Fetsky, and then Vorel, thanks for the heart. Hopefully it was for us.
We'll take it anyway.
Yeah. Quagga, no, if the GPS has a little poor connection like that, like over time, it's not going to take down the entire device. But obviously, we would need to get the location somewhat. If it never registers location, it'll be a little bit hard.
Yeah, obviously we would want to have something in the future that notifies someone if we are no longer receiving the GPS data. Like if the dong goes down, it's also not trying to sign stuff. So we should be able to tell that, and hopefully we can come up with some kind of mechanism to alert the participants that there is an issue with their device, even if they don't know that there is already.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. Where are we? Matti. Yes. So we're obviously aware that, the devices that we create need to be really good. So that's why it's not super fast, because it's a kind of a tough process. We need to test it, and we need to make sure that they do everything we need them to do. So we are working hard on that. Same thing with firmware upgrades. We are equipped for all those topics. We've expanded the team, and now we have a skill set for all of those in house. Regarding your last part, the development of the hardware, right now we're estimating to be able to launch a more plug-and-play device through other manufacturers in November, and the dongle hopefully a little bit before that. Mike, is this being recorded?
It is being recorded.
Ash, Ash, it's being recorded, so maybe if you can't hear, maybe I'll type. Like, if you see something you want to answer, just jump in. I'm scrolling down.
As am I.
I'm at Dromader.
Yep.
Let's see.
If you have a GPS dongle and SDR dongle from the dock list, we don't have a GPS dongle on the dock list right now, by the way.
No.
So no matter what, yes, you will need a Wingbits provided GPS crypto USB device.
Super
USB dongle. We'll just throw out a bunch of words and string them together, and that's what it sounds like.
There's some AI in the dongle too.
Yes. An ice cream.
Now you just need to put the dongle next to your other SDR dongle.
But plugged in, just to be literal.
Yeah. Please plug it in.
Because if 120 was here, he'd probably point out, you just set it on the table next to it? No, you don't.
Exactly. Massacre, no, you can change. You can move your device. As long as you've been live, you will get the dongle, and then you can move the device to a free hexagon somewhere else.
Yeah, and we encourage you, if you see that you're in an area that's not working well for you, whether it's due to landscape or potential concerns about saturation and other devices, and you have a host somewhere else that you picked out and they have, no trees, no other buildings, and the area is relatively uncovered by other participants, 100% get it over there.
Lord Voldemort, upgrading to better hardware on existing stations will be possible in the future. We haven't worked out that yet, but I'm sure we're going to come out with something for the existing people if they want to upgrade. Sharp Harp on the warranty. I'll have to come back to you on that. There will be obviously some type of warranty if it breaks, and you'll get a replacement.
Lebo, does the dongle require an external antenna of sorts? Yeah, I mentioned it before. It's one of those, gosh, I'm trying not to name other projects. So there is a cable and a puck, and that would connect to the USB dongle, the GPS dongle. So there is an external antenna of sorts. It's outside of the USB device itself.
but it will come with the dongle.
Right. Where am I? I hit the scroll down thing and now I'm lost for a second. Compatible with Pi 0, 2W, respectively, with a USB splitter. I'm not sure about a 0 2W. Honestly, I know there's that one port. It starts to lead me to believe that may be what I mentioned earlier, that some people, depending on device, may need a powered USB hub, something to provide a little more juice, especially ones that only have a single port, like the 0. I'm not sure of the answer to that yet, but that's my thinking at this moment.
Now I lost my spot.
I'm on Bliv at 7 after the hour. What's involved in changing dongle? There's no changing, only adding.
Yeah.
You will go from one SDR USB dongle to 2 by having the SDR dongle and the new GPS crypto dongle.
Ancillary. In order to decentralize, we centralize. Will there be warranty? There will be warranty. And this is more to care for the community, to make sure that the community is more spoof-proof, it's more fair, and we can actually generate more revenue from customers because we will sell a better product, which will in turn really benefit the community. So it's more from a longevity, sustainability, and business standpoint to protect the community and protect the customers.
I mean, I think Robin and I had a quick discussion on this the other day, and I love I'm going to try to summarize poorly how great Robin put it, but the idea of, could we continue on and do what we're doing now and just try to take a small sliver of the marketplace because we're doing the exact same thing as everybody else? Or do we forge a new path and innovate in a way that customers are actually looking for and try to generate even more revenue? Robin said it's so much better.
Nah, I think it's the whole team has been going back and forth and researching and discussing this for a really long time. So we didn't make this decision like woke up this morning and said, hey, let's do this. But we literally have the chance here because we see like we have an amazing community. We're going to be able to optimize the model over time, and combining this deepen model where the community gets treated fairly based on their performance with like a much more secure, optimized high-end network, we literally can create the best flight tracking network in the world. And like, I'm 100% sure of it because we talked to so many people now, like we know this is the way to go. And that would be so cool for everybody that's involved to be part of creating that. And it would not just from a coolness point of view, but from a reward point of view. So this is like, yeah, it's maybe not the easiest path forward if we just wanted to grow the network really fast and get a bunch of people in, but it's not the right thing to do because, when we grow this network, we need to make sure it's sustainable for all the people that have been part of growing it. And this is the way forward. Where am I now? Quai. I'm at Quai. Where are you? Kira?
Kira right above, yeah.
Yeah. We will inform everyone when we have the portal set up where everyone can order their free or pay dongle depending on which category they fit in, and submit their information. So no one's gonna miss this. Like it's not gonna be like, hey, you have 1 hour to do this. We'll give everyone plenty heads up.
Kwai wants to know, if my Pi dies in 2 years and you need to replace it, will you be able to do that? Yes. It is not the Pi. The Pi is kind of unrelated to the actual project, like which Pi you have. Like tomorrow I could swap out my 4 for a 3, and it will function just the same. So no worries there, or a 4 for another 4, or a 4 for a 5 even. You can swap them in and out based on your desire. The GPS dongle with the chip in it will actually be a unique identifier of sorts. So that will be kind of important. Well,
Yeah,
very
that
important.
one is important.
Waves asking about, well, he's talking about the shipping to host or shipping to the owner and customs and everything else.
Well, since the especially for the, I mean, since the dongles are gonna be not expensive or free for the people that are live, don't foresee so many issues in customs because there's no value to declare. Like again, we're not 100% what's the best yet, but if let's say you have 10 hosts at 10 different addresses, I think it makes more sense that one dongle goes to each address and literally just plug it into the device. I mean, it's not like a big like install that needs to happen. It just needs to be plugged in, and the puck needs to be put, preferably a window seal or something like that. So, but I mean, I could be wrong, so I'm open for feedback on that. But don't foresee it being a massive issue.
Ancillary is asking, is the dongle sponsored by an investor in the project? Made by an investor in the project?
It's sponsored by us because we thought, we're making this change. Obviously, we started a project in one direction, and everyone joined based on that information. And we're making this transition, which we feel is correct, but that doesn't take away the fact that people that join in a different model. So we thought it was just fair to subsidize this dongle for everyone that's been in the project.
Yeah, and loose sales with the comment after they're reaching out to top hardware developers. Just keep in mind that's related to third-party devices, not the dongle. The dongle is more of a in-house effort to manage it and get that constructed and distributed. The ready to run solution in the future is the one that other hardware manufacturers and distributors will be working on. Bliv?
Yeah. Bliv, sorry, go ahead.
Your Pi 5 should have at least 4 ports. So
yeah, because the Pi 4 that's right here has 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Matti, you can choose where you want these dongles delivered. That's just up to you when you fill out this information that we will let everyone know about on this portal.
Slick 122. Does the seniority of my current hex change based on when I get this new WB device up and running, or will everything basically stay the same?
Not fully sure I'm 100% understanding.
Yeah, I'm not either. Unfortunately, Slick. Can you rephrase it, Slick? I apologize.
Are you talking in comparison to the future devices versus your device? Your hex will still be your hex for your device. There will not be another device in your hex.
And if you're saying if you get a new device, like you decide to eventually get the ready to run version from a third party, then you could still take over your hex that you already have.
Yeah.
And repurpose the Pi, or maybe put the Pi at another host.
Grandfather is just to like whatever.
Yeah, he's correct. Yes, you're correct. It's grandfathered to your device ID, which right now you see as a 3-hyphened animal name. Correct.
Yeah.
Those may change in the future. They may not, but regardless, that's how we uniquely identify your station. It is that ID.
Uh, Romater, I'll just answer you in text in case your audio goes out.
If Robin has already answered these later in text, I apologize. Any expected cost for the dongles, as mentioned earlier, unsure about price yet, still working through a lot of stuff, but it's not a crazy cost. It's not like it's $100 dongle or something. It was mentioned that reasonably $50 or less. Maddie's asking about, do you think we could use GeoNet's GPS positioning data? They have a crypto chip on their miner, so spoofing shouldn't be possible. That's certainly something to investigate, Maddie.
Yeah, thanks for the input.
Obviously, at any time, not just this stage, if you have suggestions, throw them in the suggestions channel. We definitely read each and every one, including responses and comments from other people. We try to keep up on it. It spawns conversations outside of Discord, so it's very appreciated. My box are closed grounded boxes. I can't put any external antenna if the port is not SMA. I do have free GPS antenna available with a small SMA connector going inside. Lebo, I think at this point, I just have to say I don't know the end result on this yet. If you could do me a favor and either message me or put in a ticket or something and just make that comment again so I can keep up with it and follow up and play off some ideas and talk with some people. We have a hardware person that is very focused on this task, and it'd be nice to share some community thoughts, especially real world community environments that you're having to deal with. World famous. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if you're already live, it's free, so that's way less. But I don't want to speculate too much on price because we don't know exactly what the cost is yet for the device. All we know is that we're not wanting to gouge anyone on this device, so it's not going to be a really expensive device. I'm just saying $50 because that gives me some room. If I say way less and then it's more, like I don't know exactly, but it's going to be 50 or less. So it can be less, but I don't know exactly where it will end up. So I just don't want to overpromise and then, I'd rather say it's going to be more expensive and then hopefully it turns out to be less. Let's see. Tikar and Basa. Dongle. Yeah, exactly. So the way it needs to work, which is in the announcement, is that if you wanna join and you have not yet joined, which means you will have to buy the dongle. It's gonna be in order of who goes live. So we're gonna allow, right now it's 1,550 that are live. When that live number goes to 2,000, we will lock the beta. And those 450 that joined, they have the option to buy the dongle if they want to participate in the project to get rewards. Obviously, you don't have to; you can leave. But so it's not who buys it first; it's who goes live between now and 2000 will have the option to buy the dongle if they want to. If I would say, do not go live, do not buy a device and go live now if you do not want to buy the dongle for $50 or less, because you will have to buy it to continue after 2024. I hope that answered your question, Tikar and Basa. So it's go live, not buy the dongle as fast as possible.
Right, and then to follow up for James' question right after that, same idea. If you're willing to absorb the dongle cost in the future, then 100% you should go and get started now, because then you'll be online now and you'll count for the up to the first 2,000. If you wait until we have like an open market for the dongles. There's going to be a list of people that have already onboarded, and they would have first option on those. So
Yeah.
my suggestion, and again, there's no financial incentive for us to really say this. We're not going to try to make money off of dongles, USB devices, but my advice would be, if you want to set up a device, do it now. Be online. When the dongles are available, you will have the option to go ahead and purchase. And you'll be in that list of based on when you went online.
Yeah, because we can obviously see in what order people have come online in the network. So we'll know when we reach 2,000, then we're just going to lock it. And then we're going to reach out to start collecting whoever wants to have the dongle past the ones that are live already.
Slick, I appreciate that. Robin does as well. I'm speaking for him.
Oh, thanks, Lick. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, when you make a big change like this, it's in a way, it's it's scary because like you always try to make the decision that you feel like is the best. But there's a lot of things that goes into making big changes. Like same thing when we changed the hex model. This is not a quite big change. But again, we did put in a lot of work on making sure that getting as much information as possible to make the best possible decision. And we really feel that this is the decision that will allow the network to be really, really great for a long time. So thank you so much for the support.
I don't know where the math is going everywhere, but I got very confused with loose sales and some responses about 8,000 at $50 tag, and I don't know what's going on. Just to clarify though, 2,000 is the cap. 1,500 and change, we'll get it for free. However many were online as of today, the remaining 450 or whatever, we'll have to pay. It stops at 2,000, as Robin has said. I just don't know where the 8,000 came from.
No, because yeah, it's all good. I mean, that's 40,000, right? Dollars, 8,050. Let's see, where are we?
Oh, 8,000. Okay. I think I get it now. All right.
Let's see.
Not sure if I already answered. Sharp Harp's asking, 18 after the hour, main net first or dongle?
Can you answer that one, Mike? I'm scrolling down, so I'm a little bit lost. Sorry.
Well, to answer main net first or dongle, I guess we will see what happens.
Let's see. Here, yeah. I would. My strong guess is dongle first.
And for everybody, I get it that it's easy to have misunderstandings in chat, and then we don't need to jump on anybody. We don't need to go back and forth. We're all here for good reasons, people. Let's be positive. Focus on what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it's no point in arguing over a miscalculation, guys.
Total power usage for use. Total power use, not usage, either way. For the dongles ancillary. I mentioned before, I'm not sure at this moment. We will have more details in the future. It should not be much. It's obviously limited by the fact it's a USB device and what can be provided by the port itself. I don't want to promise anything, so we will give more information as we know more.
Where were you now, Mike? I think I'm caught up on the
21 after the hour ancillary. He had 2 thumbs up to his question.
Gotcha. Perfect. So we're at Heyman now, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, every dongle will be unique.
Like snowflakes.
Yeah, fingerprints.
Yeah. Actually,
Maybe there's two.
do twins have
The
the
tw-
same fingerprints? I thought I did we already
I had the
discuss this?
same. I don't know, but I just had the same thought. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're still unique. Is there any twin in here that can confirm?
I'm pretty sure they have the same one, unless there's damage due to external sources. I think I've had this discussion in my household.
Oh my god. Fizzy, I think he's asking if secured versions get more rewards when ranking against one that has not yet done so. So that's why we have the time frame. So after you receive the dongle, you have to plug it in, enable it within 90 days. If you do not have it enabled, your rewards will cease. We have to secure the network, so you have to use the dongle. Let's see.
Wave. Can we change location if found installed hex is not giving good coverage or range? Yes, 100%. As long as your target location is not already claimed. But that's just standard.
That's right. Heyman, yes, everyone gets a unique dongle. They will have your unique identifier on the dongle for each antenna or station. I need to get better at using station word.
Yeah, I still mess up.
Yeah.
BFG Neil, can anyone give me a too long, didn't read, just arrived? Dongle is a GPS and cryptography device that will allow us to identify your location, to ensure the data is coming from the location it's supposed to. Obviously, that can be used in calculations and on the customer side for buying data to ensure that they're getting the data they want, and additionally, cryptography to ensure that the data that is claimed to come from you actually came from you. And that's a good thing. Mike. I mean, imagine this. Imagine someone decided they're going to be mean and they fake or spoof data and they do it as you. And now we come after you. We're like, what are you doing, man? And you're like, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. So in this case, the cryptography chip allows us to sign it. We know it came from your device. Everything's great. There's no spoofing, no chance of fraudulent activity, and better yet, less chance of what was that? Was it Chicago that had somebody in the U.S.?
Yeah, cause they had to shut down the entire airport because someone spoofed a plane on the runway, and even though they kind of knew that there was not supposed to be a plane, it showed up on a map, and so they had to shut down for a little bit to make sure. So spoofing in the other networks is actually, even though like I don't know why, I guess for fun, it's becoming a pretty big problem. So for us to be able to have a more secure network with less spoofing is very, very good from a commercial point of view.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm at Garcom. So the token reimbursement will take place when we get to mainnet. So I don't have any updates on that. It will be more details on that when we approach mainnet Garcom. So hopefully that's understandable.
What minute after the hour? Somehow I scrolled the wrong direction.
Yeah. 6:24 p.m. 6:25 p.m. That's me.
I got it.
I got 6:26.
24 after the hour. I got it.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Button Deity. I have GeoNet at most of my Wingbits locations. Would be awesome to see some sort of collab. Yeah, we're definitely gonna look into it. We like GeoNet a lot. Ikram yes, that's US dollars.
And again,
please keep in mind, it's not a set in stone price. It's just a ballpark. We are not 100% sure yet.
Next time, let's just say under 1,000. No, that's probably not.
Under $1 million.
Yes.
Or somewhere between 0 and 1,000.
but definitely not zero.
Yeah. uh, do, do, do.
Where will Sharp Harp? I'm at 27 after. Where will the dongle be shipped from? Even if free, will we incur import taxes for the dongle? Customs fees, I guess.
Yeah, based on what we've seen since it's usually, at least in my experience, because I used to ship a lot all over, and from the people I talk to, if it's under $130, usually you don't have the customs taxes. But this will be way less, and for the free one, there will be very little value, so we don't foresee any issue with import taxes. Yeah, Mogwai said it well as well underneath you, Sharp Harp. Gristle King, correct. You don't replace anything. You just add this on alongside your SDR dongle.
Yeah, just to clarify, not into the actual signal chain. It will be on the device as an additional USB device. I could just picture somebody now trying to screw the antenna into the back of the 1090 antenna into the back of the USB crypto GPS device.
The Dramater, I don't know how to say the name, so I'm probably butchering it, but this device will work for our project.
Will it work in Docker? Yes. Will it work for other projects? No.
Let's see. BFG Neil, around 1,550. Give or take a few. Hey man, I think I've answered this, but like every dongle will be unique. There's not two dongles that will be the same unique identifier. So every antenna will get a dongle, and every dongle will be unique to that antenna and unique in general.
Have they announced who will produce the hardware? No.
We have not.
But Fizzy has some bets on who. I'll take those bets.
Where are the bets?
I don't know. How much am I going to make? That's what's the important part. No gambling, sorry.
Yeah, I can't gamble. We can bet for the honor of whoever wins, and we'll remember this chat. You'll get a Discord badge. Bet winner.
I actually like that bet winner. That'd be nice.
Yeah, maybe you can bet. No, you're not allowed to bet, Mike.
Max Hammer. Another Max. So if we want to deploy between now and the availability of the dongle, we would pay for the new hardware when available? Yes, you would pay for the new dongle when it is released. As long as you are set up and you're basically in the queue. I don't want to call it a queue, but it kind of is, based on the list of people who have online since today. Obviously, they get first priority.
Yeah, I mean, if you like go live after today, like when we reach 2,000, like we're gonna lock it for build your own devices. So as long as you deploy your device before we reach 2,000, you can buy the dongle. Obviously, if you do not want to buy the dongle and you know you don't want to buy it, like I would not encourage you to deploy a device. Unless you have one laying around and you have nothing better to do with it. But like, yeah. But we want people to deploy, like, obviously we're doing this, like we're allowing these 2,000 devices to be part of the network for the future. So obviously we want the people that deploy now with these types of devices to be in it even after we move to the approved devices, which is why we're making this kind of like transition.
Just out of curiosity, I haven't even scrolled down all the way. How much longer do you want to go?
We can go for a little bit longer. I don't know yet. Maybe like 30 minutes or something.
All right.
20, 30.
My room's heating up. Robin's aware our AC died the other day, and they're coming to replace the units today, but I held them off because we had this announcement in the stage coming. So my office
Why don't you just turn on your AC unit and just see if it makes noise or not?
Oh, I checked it last night. You do not want me to do that. It sounds like I'm being attacked by bees. So
yeah, but I feel
not.
like your level of critiquing a noise is different than the average person, so it's probably fine.
All right, maybe I'll do it and see if anybody notices.
Yeah, just try.
Tim, first, button deity. It is good for the pioneers, and basically everybody here is a pioneer. I don't want to like, because I know pioneers has two meanings. Because in the project we have the actual pioneers Discord group, which is the first, I don't remember, 50, 40, whatever people. But all of us right now are pioneers. You're in the beta. You will be one of the limited bring your own device participants. So you are pioneers. You get a free dongle if you're already set up and online today, by today. So that's good.
Yeah, very good.
Tiku, I am not 100% sure. You have asked something I do not know. I do not know what to do now. That could be true. I know each port is something like 0.5 max, and I know you can't fill them all up, so it could be total across all the ports. I will look after the call.
Yeah. See. Thanks, Crystal King. Yeah, really appreciate the support. We really believe this is the right way to go, and we think it's gonna be really amazing. Hey man, you'll just plug it in, and it's on our end, on software side.
Wave, you're welcome. I don't even know what it was for anymore, but you're welcome. How do we get the dongle? Wait, and when we announce in the future, there will be an opportunity for you to basically go through a checkout process, like you're buying something, but for free, unless you haven't set up before today, and then you will actually have to purchase.
Yeah, but no one has missed the opportunity to sign up or get it. Like, we'll come out with that information. And between now and when the dongle is released, everything is the same. Everyone keeps going. It's nothing different.
Other than we're going to cap at 2,000.
Yeah, cap at 2,000.
So,
then it's an exclusive, super locked beta.
Yeah. Do we need to have a separate GPS antenna for the dongle? To be determined at this point. We're looking at the typical cable. Still not even sure about length yet, but maybe a typical like a 3 meter or a couple meter cable with the puck on the end. If that will not suffice based on specific installation, like edge case type stuff, we are going to figure out what additional options are available out there. Even if you may have to purchase your own, that would make sense based on your crazy, well, not, I should say crazy, the not clear line of sight option. If you have a atypical setup, or like me, if I'm in an attic, which I'm not now, it feels like I am, but if my device is in the attic and the device antenna is not going to work for GPS in there, then obviously we need to have a solution for it, at least so that I or someone else can purchase a different cable, different antenna, something that will work out. We're still working through that. In fact, I've got a test I need to do on a similar device in the attic just to find out what kind of limitations we have and see, out of curiosity, what impacts people the most, what kind of materials and stuff like that. Any material in the way.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Very good stuff. But it'll be good. We'll be good. Slick, Mike, maybe you can answer this question because I don't think it should have any impact on the frequency, right?
Nope, has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so it will support both.
But are you asking, will we finally be able to digest 978? You can digest 978 right now with an additional dongle and either a splitter and a different filter or two different antennas or however you want to work it. We are not ingesting it from a Wingbits side currently. That could possibly change in the future. It all depends on customer needs and what's important to them. But it
Yeah,
is limited to
exactly.
the US 978.
Yeah, always needs to be special.
And it's only a few percent of actual overall flights. So, yeah, more challenging.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, we're not getting any like we're not having any demand for it. If we just add it on, it wouldn't hurt. More from a developer perspective, I guess, to do it. But so maybe, but the antenna will be or the dongle won't make a difference.
Yeah, I think long term, I'd love to have it. Just if nothing else, from an interface perspective, a map, an Explorer flight map, or any kind of tools we may generate in the future for interacting with flights or viewing stuff. I think it would be great from kind of a completionist perspective to have 978 included. Obviously, along with MLAT and other stuff. So it would be great in the long run to have all the stuff, ACARs, but priorities are priorities.
Sharp Harp, we're working on it. Right now it's a lot of optimization. We're getting a lot of information from our data stream, which is, it's been a lot of positive stuff, which is really cool. So wouldn't be surprised if it comes some cool stuff before too long. Otsky, will an occupied hex free up after 90 days not connected to the network? Are you saying if the dongle is not connected within 90 days? Or are you saying if the antenna is offline for 90 days?
I'd have to scroll down to find the answer.
I'm at 6:37 p.m., Mike.
Yeah, so am I. I'm just saying I can't see his answer for Bodsky, but I will assume if you're talking about just a online, Robin, can you answer from a perspective of right now before the dongle, everything else? If someone is not sending data for a period of time from a claimed hex, will that hex free up so that someone else can take over?
Yeah, so we are actually going through now and looking along with this to see like where there antennas that were live in the very beginning and they haven't been live for like months and months and months. Obviously, we're not gonna, people will have issues at times. Maybe they're not able to get to the antenna. So we're starting with like if we see antennas that have not been live for several months, we're probably gonna start clearing some of that up, and then it will move down. So yeah, hexes will open up if people are not sending data. In the light paper, which we haven't built the functionality yet, is we have the uptime level, which technically, if you've been live and you're at max uptime level, which is 100, if you are offline for 100 days, you will lose the hex. And we think that's a pretty lenient time frame, honestly. That's almost over 3 months of offline time. So that when that's implemented, that will be automatically. If you do not submit data and your uptime reaches 0, it will just open up the hex. Thanks, Button DT. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I mean, obviously, there's it's challenges too, but this is like I'm telling you guys, like if we make this work, it'll be by far the best flight tracking network that's ever existed. Like it will be so much better that it's just unreal. Yeah, so BFG Neil, like we're not gonna need to collect your GPS location of the antenna like every second. We just need to collect it every now and then to make sure that the device is where it says it is. So like if the connection is not 100% at all times, as long as we can get the location, you know, at least every now and then, it'll be fine for these devices. When we build our other devices, they will have a different type of GPS. So the GPS location is actually gathered outside, along with the kind of with the antenna. They see that now. Sorry, even though the testnet tokens are fun, they can't buy stuff. So Max Hammered is a GPS device and a cryptographic chip in a USB dongle. I don't know if that's what you're asking, but just to clarify.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with encoding, decoding, ADSB messages or anything.
Exactly.
JD, this call is being recorded for quality assurance. Yes, and it'll be posted on YouTube.
But indeed is throwing out a bet. I guess we'll see. Has there been any other? We can't call it bet. Guess. I guess guesses.
Sharp Harp. Would the dongle interfere with any other projects running on the same Pi as Wingbits? I see what you're throwing down here, man. I know. So there are other projects that actually rely on GPS devices that someone may be multi-mining and doing something like that. And while we won't speak about these projects, it has come up as a topic of would this interfere with them or would it not? I'm not going to give you the answer yet. Still need to figure some stuff out. But it is something that's been discussed. It would obviously be best if this does not act as a traditional Linux USB device, obviously, which I don't think it would. And in that case, it should not impact them. But I don't want to be 100% sure one way or another right now.
Where are you now, Mike? Are you at 642?
Correct. Wild Clovers.
You can go ahead and answer that one, Mike.
Oh, I didn't even read it yet. Will we need to run both ADSB dongle and proprietary Wingbits dongles? The Wingbits dongle is once it is available. Not that Wingbits. Correct. Yeah, 2 separate dongles, 2 separate USB. Kind of like if you've got a keyboard and a mouse, you plug them in separately. Although some people now plug their mice into the keyboard because there's a USB port on them. But ignore that. Act like they were plugged in separately into the PC. It's the same idea. You're 2 separate USB devices.
Yep. Let's see. Nobody. So if the hex was claimed but doesn't currently have a station installed, did at one point, what happens to them? I have one. I just ran a test. Haven't been back. So if the hex has no station, if it's been a few days, like we're not going to remove it yet, but like if there's a hex where there was a station, 5 months ago, and there's not been data, like we will start cleaning up those hexes because it's just not fair to keep them locked. So if you have a hex that you have claimed and you don't have an antenna there, for some reason, either you need to add one, or it will be eventually removed. I'm down at Trika Games. Yeah, we know we are. It's almost done. I know Alex has been working on it. It's just a lot. It was a lot of data, and we want to make sure it works well. But we know it's important.
And I don't think he'd be upset with me announcing that through the process of this, he's also refactored some code to make things better, to speed up the data loading and page display. So there are things coming. We don't want to release it and have it be substandard. Doesn't help anybody.
Let's see. I have to go in 7 minutes. But again, we'll have another stage. There's the stage schedule in the announcement. And I saw a comment. Gristle King said, update the announcement. If you have a specific feedback, I would love if you maybe DM me like what you feel like is missing. And anyone here, if you feel like some of the information that you got now is not at all clear in the announcement, like please let us know so we can update it and make it more clear for people to read. It's kind of hard to get a lot of information in one announcement without making it a book. But definitely open for feedback there.
And we've also considered just making an additional fact page or something, maybe even on the doc site, just to summarize some of the frequently asked questions and what the answers are.
Yeah. Where are we now? Do we have time for? Is there any like questions that we have not received yet that is in here? Just to make sure we answer those. Do you see anything, Mike?
I mean, there's still a lot of questions, but I'm just trying to see if there's anything major that needs to be answered. Dole, at 50 after the hour, how accurate do we need to be with GPS readings? If you're speaking about, I'm going to try to use words this time. If you're speaking about GPS coordinates on the Wingbits site under your station, they should be accurate. They should be, I mean, I think down to 6 places is, I don't even remember, centimeters or something. It's already pretty close, but if you're within like 20 meters, I wouldn't worry about it. If you're within 10 meters, I wouldn't worry about it, as long as it's reasonably close. Once the dongles come, it'll pretty much clear things up. It'll be exactly where. But I will warn, if you are definitely not in the hex that you have claimed, or are somewhere not even close to what it looks like, it would probably be good to update that now.
Yeah.
That's cool, Steve Arena. It's cool that our data is faster, I guess.
Where? There. Okay. I'm down at Dole. So for your GPS, like the GPS dongle will be very accurate. But like no one will see that. Just you, and obviously we'll have it in our database, but it's not going to be publicly available. So you would have, like, your location, if you've set it and it's off and you install the GPS dongle and it shows that you're not actually where you are, I would not recommend doing that. So it needs to be accurate. But we'll never show people's locations on the map, like the exact locations. It'll be a massive hex only showing that there's an antenna in the hex, but you have no idea where in the hex.
Wave, I appreciate the call out. We are 100% aware and have already discussed the size or the width of GPS dongles so that they could be put side by side if necessary. It's a good call out, though.
I'm going to answer one more question, then I actually have to go. So at the very end, THR3, if you bought the hardware before today, you can open a ticket, submit the information, just proof that you ordered, and you will get the dongle. Yeah, but really, I mean, so many people in here today. I think this was maybe a record. So really appreciate everyone showing up with all the questions. And really thanks for the support and for being here. We'll have more stages in the announcement. There is a stage schedule, so we'll have a few more. So this is not the last one. So if you have questions that you think of between now and the other stages, just hop in, ask the questions, and I'll make sure to add a little more information to the announcement to kind of break it out a little bit, make it a little bit more clear. And probably also going to work on like a blog post that's a little bit longer and more in depth to post for this, so that way we don't have to take up the entire announcement page. But again, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys again soon.
Tomorrow.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah.
All right.
See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.